Y'all asked for it and y'all shall receive. This is a makeup tutorial on how I do like basically my everyday makeup or a soft glam beat. So let's get into it. Behind every great makeup beat, it is a moisturized face. I am very serious when it comes to making sure my face is moisturized before I put any type of makeup on my face. I like to use two different type of moisturizer. First, I go in with a Korean moisturizer that helps moisturize the face and also brighten my skin. Right now, I'm going through a serious hormonal breakout, but yeah, we're gonna get into that later. And then I like to go in with like a daily simple moisturizer that you could just use every day. But also, besides using a moisturizer, I love to make sure I use like an eye cream, because making sure my under eyes is moisturized really help the concealer. But personally, for me right now, I am dealing with like my under eye is like not sagging, but it looks very thin. It doesn't have that plumpness that it used to. So I like to use this sample product that I got from Sephora. I forgot what it's called, but I showed y'all in a video. And it works wonders. Okay, it's been lifting up the skin under my under eye and giving me collagen and just basically giving my skin that plumpness back under my under eye. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling. And girl, we can't forget about them lips. You gotta make sure those lips are moisturized. So I'm gonna pull out my topical because it's gonna make sure my lips are moist every time. I don't like when I'm doing my makeup and my lips are completely dry. So topical gonna make sure my lips are gonna stay moist throughout the whole process. Okay. So today I'm basically gonna try something new. I decided to get my Wet n Wild Impossible silicone primer and also my e.l.f. Power Grip primer. I'm gonna use these two different primers because I want to make sure that I have the perfect, not matte look, but the perfect base for my makeup where my makeup won't move. I have oily skin and also dry skin, but I'm mainly oily in my T-zone, so that's why I decided to put the silicone primer at, because it's gonna make sure it controls the oil. But I love the e.l.f. Power Grip because it makes sure it just keeps my makeup in place and it keeps it moisturized as well. I seen this on TikTok where this girl was using some popular products on TikTok where she had the perfect matte makeup, and I didn't have those products, but I knew I had some silicone primer and some Power Grip primer, and I said I could do the same thing too. Let me see if it actually worked. So at the end, we're gonna see if it actually worked, but that's what I decided to do differently today, is use two primers. I don't usually do that, I just use one. But yeah, while I'm letting my primer sit, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. I use the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Kit. If y'all haven't seen my makeup tutorial before, y'all know I don't do my eyebrows on camera. I need privacy. Okay, it's something about recording myself doing my eyebrows. It just doesn't come out how I want it to come out. But I had to show y'all what I use for my eyebrows. I personally like to use powder, and recently I've been wanting to give some other eyebrow products some try. It's just hard for me to get off of it. I use the Pro Concealer from the Beauty Supply store for to conceal up under my eyebrows, and on top of my eyebrows I like to use a foundation that matches my skin because I don't want that white cast around my eyebrows, definitely at the top. So I like to do that. But here's how my eyebrows are looking, baby. I spent time trying to fix these eyebrows. Okay, I don't know, I have this exception of my eyebrows don't have to be sisters, they don't have to be twins, but at least let them be cousins that look alike, but my eyebrows look good, so we just gonna go ahead and move on. Now let's get into this face. I like to use two different kind of foundation. The first one is the MAC Studio Fix Liquid, and then I like to go in with my classic Bobbi Brown. Okay, now you might be thinking that I'm wasting my money using two kind of foundations in one setting, but I'm not, because sometimes I have a difficult time actually finding my color when it comes to foundation. But it's something about mixing these two foundations together, and it gives me the ultimate full coverage that I am looking for. I love a full coverage when it comes to a soft glam, but definitely I need this in this moment because I'm having a hormonal breakout and my dark spots are going crazy. Okay, but all I do is I just put the foundation both foundation on my hand and I mix it together with my foundation brush, and then I just put the foundation on my face. I don't blend it out immediately, but I will wait and let it sit, because that really helps me get that full coverage that I'm looking for. Now you see how thick the foundation is, baby. This is gonna be the best full coverage you'd have ever seen. Okay, this is what I look for. I just apply the foundation all over and I let it sit for about 5 minutes just to let that product really seep in there before I go in and blend it out. When it comes to blending, I'm always gonna make sure I have a dense brush. This helps make sure my foundation is blended out evenly. It makes it easier. Some people like to use a sponge, and it's nothing wrong with that, but I like to use a dense brush. I always like to use brushes because when it comes to makeup, everything is more full coverage, and sometimes using a sponge just takes away the product, and I don't need anything to take away from my foundation because I want full coverage right now. Now I'm starting at my neck and I'm blending everything out very, very well, because it gives me time to let the product sit on my face a little longer. So I just start from my neck and work my way up. That's personally what I like to do. And if I do have any extra product that I don't want, I can just add that to my neck. I'm done blending out my foundation, so now it's time to get into this concealer. I like to use 3 different type of concealers. So today I'm using the Air Hug concealer, and that's full coverage, and I'm using 2 pro concealers, but they are 2 different shades. The reason why I'm doing this is because I like the inner corner of my eyes, definitely up under my eyes, to be brighter, and then it blends to be more of my skin tone. It just gives this seamless look, and it's not a white cast up under my eyes. So that's what I like to do. Just give a little smidget of that Air Hug, because it is very, very heavy and it's full coverage. So you don't want to use too much of that product. But the pro concealers, I use a generous amount just so I can make sure I still get that full coverage and it's blended very well up under my eyes. And yes, I like to use the concealer to contour my face. Yes, I use pro concealer to contour my face. I have always done that. I don't know why I don't use a cream bronzer. I haven't even took the time out to find one or to buy one, but I've always used a pro concealer to contour my face. That's what I'm getting into now. But while I'm about to contour my face, I like to let my concealer sit up under my eye. Doing this technique has always worked out for me. I like to let my concealer sit up under my under eye because I like the full coverage. That is my whole objective, is to have this full soft glam that is full coverage for me, because I'm dealing with a lot when it comes to my skin. Okay, some people don't like it because it says that it creases under their eyes over time, but for me, I haven't ran into that issue because I make sure that I prep my skin well and I'm setting my makeup well as well. Now I'm going in and I'm blending out my contour. I always use an angle brush. It's easier to work with and it just blends out very smooth for me. I'm gonna share a secret with y'all real quick. When it comes to me blending out my contour, I always make sure I am blending out the product upwards. Okay, I'm gonna push the product upwards because I want to make sure my cheeks are chiseled. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I want to make sure my cheeks are chiseled and it's very slim. I don't want my face to make the illusion of I am older or my cheeks are sagging. I don't drag my brush directly down because that's gonna make my face look like it is sagging. I want my cheeks to look like I'm sucking them in and my cheeks bones are high to the sky. It's time to go ahead and grab that small dainty brush because we're about to blend out the concealer. Yes, we're finally about to blend out the concealer, and I love this process. I work my way from the inner corner and I make my way out to blend out everything, but you see how I'm tapping it. I'm not dragging my brush or anything like that. I am making sure that I'm tapping the product into my skin, under my under eye, and doing this technique really helps give me that full coverage under my eye that I am looking for, that I want. But most importantly, the concealer is looking so seamless and smooth. It's almost like a blur effect that it gives. Just letting my concealer sit gives this blur effect under my eye, and I like it. But most importantly, it lifts my eye as well. So if you don't get anything from this video, at least take that, because your under eye is gonna look too good. Under eye really makes the whole entire makeup look, okay? After all that blending and product that we just used, it's time to spray this face down. I like to use the MAC Studio Fix setting spray. This really helps blend the makeup in very well. And I like to do this right before I use any powder. So yeah, right now I'm just like, it's in the middle of my makeup process and I'm setting my face before we move on to the next step. But Riri, where you at? I went ahead and grabbed my Fenty Pro Filter powder. I haven't used this in so long, but today I decided to bring it out. I want my under eyes to kind of just blur and just look smooth. So I'm gonna use this powder for my under eyes and anywhere that I use concealer at, basically. But yeah, when I tell you I ate down when I use this powder, I ate down. All right. And before we move on, look at that under eye. You see how that powder has my under eye basically kind of blurred it out. I didn't even have to use that much when it comes to this product, okay? I don't use that much powder. I use a little bit, and if I have any excess powder, I dab it off on my arm. But when I tell you that I fell back in love with this product and I see what I bought it in the first place, like, what? Blurs, filter. It look like I got a filter, but I don't, okay? Under eye looking like chef kiss. Now, to brighten up my under eye just a little bit, I like to go in with my Wet n Wild translucent powder. Whenever I'm using this product, I always use a sponge because I'm not going to use too much. Okay, this is just to brighten up my under eye. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to do this step. You can actually go ahead and skip. But yeah, I like to just brighten up my under eye just a little bit. And even when I do this, I'm not going to have a white cast when it's time to take pictures. All right, y'all. So we're moving on. Don't judge my product. I done had this Pro powder kit for a while. I got it from my local beauty supply store. I have not let it go. Apparently, to me, it still works. It still got product up in there. I can still use it. Okay, so what I'm about to do now is bronze my face. I'm going to go over all the areas that I have contoured just to make sure that it is set in place and it look good, and basically enhance my contour even more by using the powder. I have another tip for you guys. Whenever you feel like your face is too matted or it has a lot of powder on it, just go in with your setting spray and just spray just a little bit, just to have that moistness back into your face, because not everybody likes their face to look caked up. I know I don't, so I like to just go ahead and just spray a little bit of my MAC Studio Fix setting spray just to make sure my face come back to life and look like something. All right, now it's time to get into the eye look. Usually I am not a big eyeshadow person. I keep things very simple over here and minimalistic. There's nothing wrong with the people that likes to do dramatic and bold designs when it comes to eyeshadow looks, but for me, I lack in that. So what I'm doing is I'm going with the same Pro powder kit and I'm just doing whatever I feel. My whole objective is, besides having full coverage, but this is a soft glam, I really like a good old brown eyeshadow look, or something that is just nude eyeshadow look. I don't like too much, something that is everyday. So if you are somebody that relates to that as well, this is something that you can do for when you are going to run errands or going to somewhere simple, just a daily eyeshadow look. That is me. I'm that girl, and I like to do that. So that's what I'm doing right now. Nothing special, but I just want to show you guys that yes, I did do my eyeshadow too. And I finished everything off with my one size waterproof setting spray, finishing spray. I went ahead and sprayed that all over my face. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I don't know how I feel about the one size, okay? I'm fairly new to it and I'm trying to get used to it, but it seems like it just makes my face extremely dry and it doesn't really have that hold like it says it does. I keep trying to give it a try. I'm not sure it's because I'm not using all the products from Patrick Star. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of one size. I just want to say that it's me. I'm not a big fan. All right. And this is the final results of how everything came out. I like the soft glam. I like a soft glam that makes it look like it's an everyday wear. I'm not a girl that likes to do too much with my makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I like something that is versatile, and you can wear everywhere. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely wouldn't mind to do more makeup videos. So leave down in the comments below what type of makeup videos y'all want me to do, or any advice that y'all need when it comes to makeup. I would love to answer your questions. Okay, so yeah, give this video a thumbs up, and y'all already know, if you're not subscribed, then what, you're missing out on some good content, girl. And yeah, follow me on TikTok and Instagram to stay connected to me, and y'all stay tuned to next week's video. So bye, my baby.